Every business out there has risks that you are taking when you're running a business. Even as a reseller, there are some very key important steps that you need to take. And today we're going to give you the top 20 best ways to stay safe as a reseller. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about the top 20 best ways to stay safe as a reseller. Every business has risks involved with it. And if you can avoid the key risks involved with your industry, you will do far better, make far more money, and overall be much happier at the end of the day. With reselling, there's some big, huge key ones. Some of the easiest, the most simple ones to avoid are with personal meetups. If you're going to do personal meetups as a reseller, do them at a safe place. We actually do them outside the police department whenever we've done them in the past, or inside of a library. Those are key places you can meet, opened, public places where there'll be lots of people. Pick a time when they'll be busy too, or pick a time like if you're going to meet at the police department, when the police department is opened. Many times if you call your local police department, they may actually have a place set up to meet people that is videoed, cameraed all the time. So it's a much safer place to meet. I would never meet somewhere else. I would never drive out in the middle of nowhere to meet someone at their house or anything like that, even if it looks like that's where they live. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Another big, major, important thing is I never have anything turned on my phone when I'm out in public that can be picked up by another phone. I don't have any connections other than my tower connection hooked up when I'm out. I don't do any of the sharing options on my phone. I don't put banking information in on my phone at all. Nothing related to my financials is on my personal phone that I carry with me. I also have multiple security options set up on my phone, so even if someone does get it, though they can't get the banking information, they can't even get into my contact information. This is key if you're going to use your phone out in public. I do use my phone to, research and check up items out in the wild when I'm out sourcing. You have to do that once in a while, so I'm always very careful and cautious when I'm doing that. I would never log into Wi-Fi in a public place either from your phone. If you do not have phone reception, I would just let it go with that, not worry about it. I would not use the public Wi-Fi unless it was a dire emergency and I had no phone service whatsoever or no other way to get contact. It's really important that you do that because someone could actually tap into your phone if you're using a public Wi-Fi or a personal Wi-Fi that they don't have locked, which you can still see. Now, another note with Wi-Fi. If you use Wi-Fi at your place of business, as a reseller, that could be your house, if you own property, if you rent someplace, wherever that is, if you have Wi-Fi on in those places and you have it broadcast just the way they set it up for you when they turn it on, it could be broadcasting enough to be reached by neighbors, by someone driving down the street. Roaming, when they try and roam around neighborhoods and pick up your Wi-Fi and hack into it. People do that in real life. I can give you many examples of it actually happening to people that I have actually met, known, or talked to in the past. There's actually pages, websites on the internet right now that have most everybody's private personal Wi-Fi networks shown on it, so you can determine where there would be one. Some say how many are actually open and not locked with passwords as well. So I would always take that into mind no matter what I'm doing in reselling. I would always turn it down so it does not broadcast past a certain point, from my house, or deactivate it at night when I'm not using it, so someone can't just sit out there while you're sleeping. I know this may seem excessive, but in this day and age, that's as easy as it can be. They can drive down the street, sit in front, and pick up your Wi-Fi, hack into it with openly available software straight off a Tor or something. It's something that happens. Again, it could be all just to get into your personal information if you store banking and all that. That's a no-brainer for me. I always turn it off or lower it constantly, all the time, so it doesn't broadcast out, past a certain point. My personal business is in a building that has basically tin all the way around it, metal roof, metal sides, metal walls. So my Wi-Fi in the building does not reach outside of this. Another thing you should always do is constantly change your passwords for every site. Constantly. Don't use ones that you would think. You can use the suggested ones from, say, Chrome or something like that, are fairly strong passwords. Just remember them. I also am very hesitant to save all my passwords in Chrome too, because if one of my laptops gets out somewhere or something is stolen, it's not accessible. So usually I don't do that as well. Something that most people do not have and should probably get is a BOP. Now, what's a BOP? A BOP is a business owner's policy, and it protects your business from lawsuits and potential theft and all sorts of other things, an act of God, depending on the type of insurance that you actually have. So if someone robs your business, breaks into your business is covered from theft and loss. If a hurricane comes through, rips off the roof of your house, everything's damaged or destroyed, it would cover your inventory. Again, this is something you'd have to pay extra for. Something we've had for years in this. If you sell a product that hurts somebody or something happens to somebody over it, you could be held liable for that product. It could be on the recall list and you didn't know it. It's up to you to make sure that something you're selling is not on a recall list. Those are easy steps you can take to not get yourself into trouble with that. If your business license, and again, you should have a business license. Everybody doing business in the United States needs to have a business license of some sort, a tax identification number with the federal government. But if say you're inviting people to your house and they get injured on your house at your place of business that you invited them to as a business interaction, they could sue your business or your personal self because you're at your personal place where you dwell, where you live. So there's some implications. So if it says that you can't have somebody at your house with your license, don't have anybody at your house or your place of business. It could get you in legal jeopardy as well. What you sell could also be important to your safety in this industry as a reseller. So don't sell things that can either get your account dinged and you get booted from a platform, which happens all the time to people who just don't pay attention or just don't care or are trying to do fraudulent interactions and transactions. You don't want that happening to you. You got to be careful about it. You've got to understand what you're selling. Some items like open perfume or something like that is not allowed to be sold on eBay. There's also mailing implications because it could have alcohol in it and it can't go air. So it would be ground only. Or people mailing fireworks, even if they're vintage. Or you selling vintage sealed alcohol or tobacco. Those are also items that can get you in some big trouble, whether it be dinged from the site or federal trouble for sending, even if the tobacco, a pack of cigarettes from 1910 you think is no good, who's going to want it? Someone could still smoke that. Someone could still get sick. It still says they're cigarettes. A younger person may not understand the difference. These are things you shouldn't sell. You know, clearly you shouldn't sell them. Some pesticides are banned. Some toys like lawn darts are banned. And there's a lot of things like that. There's words you can't even use as a reseller without risking your account or risking getting a vero or a claim against you, such as Velcro or onesies. Those are copyrighted, trademarked names that only the company that created them can use. That's just the facts of the matter, legally speaking. Again, you don't want yourself to get in trouble in any way. Physical harm, financial harm, legal harm. You just don't want any jeopardy to your business at all. That's the whole point in keeping yourself safe. With shipping now, there are many things that you can't ship to certain places. Certain items from World War II from Germany cannot be shipped to many different countries. They are banned, they are outlawed. You can't ship them. You got to be very careful on that. Certain items such as a cigarette lighter that looks like a pistol, a gun, even if it's just a cigarette lighter, will not get to England. Toys that are made out of wood will not go to Italy. Wood in general is something that could get you in trouble in Italy. It could get your item sent back. It could get it confiscated. You could be out the funds. You know, those are just things to think about. There's certain things that you can't ship at all out of the United States. You can't ship to certain countries as well because they're on some lists by the government. Certain items from Cuba can get you in trouble because there is technically still a legal embargo on them. And you cancel items made after the embargo because that would mean you have them in possession after they were supposed to be banned from coming into this country. Ivory is another example. Ivory and certain types of animal material can't be sold. It can get you in some legal jeopardy, whether you know it or not. Now, there is some that can be sold in ivory and all the materials out there, but they're very specific. You have to have the proper documentation and legal authorization to do that. Keep yourself safe by following the rules, and you'll do far better in this industry in general. Well, there you have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Hello? Somebody out there? E.T. Video game?
E.T. is the Atari video game cartridge you have to buy separately to play on the Atari video computer system. Your parents hook it up to the TV. It's the video game that lets you help E.T. get home.
E.T.
This is the Atari video computer system. E.T. and other video game cartridges are each sold separately.